I like to consider myself an eternal optimist. Um, I believe in seizing the moment and cherishing and celebrating things in life that need to be cherished and celebrated. But it is difficult at times because we're in a world full of conflict, full of confusion, full of divergent ideas. And those in themselves, or that in itself, is not a bad thing. But what is concerning is that people get very entrenched in their particular points of view and their stances. And I've said this before, so at the risk of repeating myself, I'd have to say that social media, I think, and the availability of information online has led people to a position of extreme passion about particular ideas and views, and the hate manifests itself, and it's a disturbing thing. It's an unpleasant spectacle to witness, and we're all guilty of it. But I think we've got to remember that we should not let the darkness or the lack of light in our lives at times overwhelm us. We've always got to strive to be the optimist, the eternal optimist, perhaps, to seek positivity in the face of adversity. And all our lives are populated with ups and downs. That is part of being a human being. But we've got to find good ways, healthy ways of dealing with the downs and indeed the ups. We can celebrate, we can commiserate, but we've just got to, I believe, at the end of the day, be respectful of other human beings, other people around us, and understand that people will have different views to us, different ideas, and we should try and respect those ideas, notwithstanding that we could be vehemently opposed to the particular position that they hold. We can see on social media hateful expressions of opinions where people are in other people's faces screaming and shouting abuse at them. And, it's very intimidating and it's very upsetting to see that we've sort of descended to a very low level of disrespect for other people's opinions. And I don't know. It's a complex and difficult thing to get your head around in a way. But some might argue that the infiltration of the universities by leftist professors and uh, teachers in general has influenced the minds of the young to the extent where they will not accept sound and reasonable counter arguments to their points of view. They have lost the ability to look at all sides of an argument or a debate and come to a conclusion. They are so deeply entrenched in a point of view, and you could say that's the same for the other side as well. But I think young people are the potential movers and shakers, forces to be reckoned with in the future, and it should concern us all that we may be breeding a society of people, the next generation of leaders and decision makers who may not have the level or the skill set that is required to make balanced decisions for the good of all people, not just one particular group. And so I think at the end of it, let's all just try and understand the points of view of others. Let's try and keep the arguments civilised and moderate our rage, because rage and shouting and abuse and hate just serves no purpose whatsoever. It just drives people apart. It does not bring people together, and I cannot see that answers will arise from that. So a bit of a ramble, but something to think about, and I hope you could follow what I was saying. See you next time.